Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to get rid of this ugly mess and save yourself a bunch of money instead of getting this repainted. Sometimes it's not in the budget, and as you can see, I've already done this side, so you can kind of see the difference, right? This is what I was working with last night. So stay tuned, I'll show you how it works. All right, so every time I post a picture of me touching up my car with the Dr.colorchip, everybody's always asking me like what I'm using, how I did it. So I figured I'd just make a video for you guys. Dr.colorchip, I've used this stuff for years, probably on 7 to 8 different cars. I highly recommend it. I tried it. I'm not sponsored by these guys, by the way. This is completely third-party, unrelated review to Dr.colorchip, but the product does work. I mean, it's not going to make your car perfect, but it's going to look way better than those basic touch-up kits that make blobs everywhere. So I like it. I've enjoyed it. I'm just going to show you how I do it, and obviously anybody can read the directions on the back of the box, and honestly the directions are really basic. What you want to do, so actually before we get to that, how you order it. It's completely based on, you're going to go to their website, you're going to put in your model, make, year, and then they're going to give you a bunch of options for your paint codes. Match it up to your car, place your order, figure out which kit you want. Honestly, you don't need a lot. This is like the size of the one I usually get, and I mean, I've already done this bumper mold at least one time completely, like the whole thing, and you saw how many chips I had. And I still have plenty of paint in here left. So this is what it comes with. You get this, everything basically comes in this box, very nicely packaged. You're gonna get the color, a couple of different brushes, their blending solution. This is what takes off the excess, paint, and then you're gonna get one of these cloths basically that help you take it off. As you can see, I've been using mine, and then a microfiber towel and a rubber glove to smear the paint. Now, I do not smear the paint, I just use the brush. I don't like using the glove to smear it. I just don't like having the extra paint on my fingers while I'm touching the car and potentially getting it all over other places and then not catching it in time. So, but this is their basic kit. This is the bigger solution. There's the ones with smaller. Kind of like, if you're working on a couple of different chips, get the smallest kit. If you have a lot, or if you get chips often, get a little bit of a bigger kit. They tend to last. They don't really dry up. I probably have had kits for a couple of years that I still had good paint and I still had good solution. But what I'll tell you is what it works the best on is kind of like little stuff like this. So I haven't touched these up, but I was touching up a bunch on this side yesterday. Of course, you can't really tell where they are anymore. So this is what it's best at. So these little small, kind of like nicky little tiny ones, and like road rash, it works really good on. Now, as you can see, my bumper was painted before. That's why it's chipping like crazy, because it wasn't painted very well. You can even see the paint's coming off of here. You can see the original color underneath and this crappy paint on top just peeling off. So I kind of knew this when I bought the car, so I ultimately have plans to get this bumper repainted, but it's just what I'm working with for now. So you can see the size of these chips. You can see the front here. I drive my car a lot. Drove this car actually cross country, so I get a lot of chips frequently. So I did this last night. So as you can tell, there's still chips in the paint, but the paint itself is the same color as the car. So up close, you see kind of just like little spots, but from here, you can't see them anymore. So, don't expect this to completely remove everything. It does hide these little ones very, very well. You probably won't even see the leftover, kind of like the edges that are left, but it will do a good enough of a job. And I mean, I think repainting this bumper is roughly probably anywhere between $400 to $700, depending on where you're going to take it. You know, because they got to remove it. If they're doing a good job, they got to remove it, and so on. So that being said, let me show you the process. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to clean your area you're working with, right? You can buy their prep solution directly from Dr.colorchip. I've never used it. You can use rubbing alcohol with microfiber towel. That's typically what I use. Wipe everything down, make sure it's clean. Obviously, if you waxed your car, you want to do a good job of getting all of that stuff out of the chips. So then you're going to shake up your paint. And so it does come, you know, with a top that has a little hole inside. I usually just prefer to open it up and use this brush. And there's a lot of videos they have on their website as well. But so this is a really big chip. This one is going to be really hard to do with the standard process. So what you actually want to do is just kind of get right inside, right to the edge. And there are actually some smaller brushes they have. See, like this one, I would probably just leave it just like that, let it dry out and see what it looks like. But with a chip like this, what you do is kind of get in there. See, now, especially with this color car and this being white underneath, you might have to do a couple of layers to get really good coverage. Sometimes you can get them right away, sometimes you can't. But sometimes it's a process, and just depends how good a result of what you want. Also, any chips like on an edge like here, unless they're probably better just to be kind of like to gently fill them in without going outside, because this stuff does dry very flat, which is nice. It doesn't blob like the factory stuff. So, but some of these you can do. So this one, again, for the really big chips, what you really want to do is just basically fill on the inside without going on the outside. And if you do go on the outside, you can always remove it, which is nice. So, you know, sometimes I let them dry a little and see if there's still white showing, like this one. See, especially with this, it's easier on certain color cars for sure if the primer underneath is not white, where it's so different. We gotta really fill this in to cover it. So, okay. I'm gonna fast forward this for you guys so you don't have to watch me do every single chip, and I'll slow it back down here for when I do the removal. Alright guys, as you can see, pretty much covered everything up. I don't think I can get much closer. What you want to do is let this sit for about 2 to 5 minutes. I would not go longer. Again, given maybe different weather conditions, but what's going to happen if you go longer, this paint will become much harder, and it's just the project is going to take longer. I can't stress this enough. Like, don't wait too long. It's better to actually do this a couple of times than to let it get too hard and you're gonna have to just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing until the excess comes off. You're gonna get tired. Your hands are gonna get tired. It's better just to not to go too heavy on the paint, and then again, no more than 5 minutes, and start wiping it all off. Got it? So what you're gonna do is take the blending solution, shake it up, just like you did the paint. Grab this little towel right here, I usually fold it up, and obviously whatever is more comfortable for you, but you want to make it nice and flat. So I typically use like about like this much of it to really rub, because I try to like really work each section. If you have a lot of like little tiny chips, then probably you can make it bigger, and and do it that way. So again, you're just going to take your solution. I don't know how to make this for you guys so you can actually see it, but just pour it on the pad like so. You'll really want to get it nice and saturated. And then what I like to do is lightly rub the whole area, kind of get everything started. So, and then I start working like a couple of chips or one chip at a time. Let's see if I can get this a little closer for you guys. Okay, so gotta get this lower, I guess. Okay, all right. So, and you want to keep this fabric moist. That's the best thing you can do. And you don't want to push too hard, because it's gonna pull the paint from within the chip. But you will see like where the chip starts and ends, and you just want to work off as much of that paint next to the edges, and that's it. So like right here, it's like a really small, the chip itself is really small, but the paint goes up to here. So usually we just want to rub that off. So I try to rub where it's the heaviest, and then kind of come back and rub the whole thing, just to eliminate the chances of most of the paint, the chance of the paint coming out of the chip itself. So there you go. It's it's nice and filled. Now I got a couple right here. These are a little bit bigger. Again, with the big ones, you have to be especially careful. Some of them you're not going to be able to do with this process. You're going to just have to fill them on the inside, and just let them be that way, just because it's just too hard to keep it from pulling the paint from out of there. So that's the process. Honestly, I would film this whole thing for you, but it'd be pretty boring. So I'm gonna, just keep an eye on it. You will see when there's basically no residue left, no excess paint. And then once you're done, just move on to the next chip. Potentially, sometimes you're gonna pull the paint out anyways. It happens. Or if the paint's too wet, if you did it too early, it will pull the paint right out of there. It's okay, it happens. Just do it again. Wait a little bit longer. Push a little less hard on the chip, when you're doing it, and you'll get good results. At least I do. But you do have to be a little bit patient, and you'll see the results. So I'm gonna continue doing this side here, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then that's it. And if you like this video, there's gonna be more content specifically here on my F30 coming your way, as well as some other cars and things like that. I'm kind of rebooting the channel, so if there's anything you guys want to see, please comment. If you guys have more tips for everybody on how to do this stuff, or if you know a better product, I've only tried this one and just like some of the other kind of more basic kits, but I know some newer stuff has come out. There's always, I don't know if it's newer or it's just like a similar product. But yeah, it's just trying to help people out. So that's it, guys. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. All right, guys. So here is basically round one. Obviously, you can see a great improvement. Now, after you're done rubbing the excess off, you do want to take your microfiber towel and just wipe the whole area down, regardless if you're going to do another layer or not. But as you can see, right, that's a huge improvement with 10 to 15 minutes of work. I'm gonna obviously have to do my whole bumper because it's painted horribly, but as you can see, really just outside of maybe like this one and this little guy, I think I missed those, and obviously at the bottom here I might just have to touch up. It's looking significantly better. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. So as I mentioned before, the biggest tip I can give you is not to do too much at once. You know, area like this is perfect. Like by the time I shut off the video to start wiping all these spots, they were already dry and it was perfect. Like they were coming off very easy. I also recommend when you start doing the whole removing process of the access paint, just wipe the whole area, and I think it starts to kind of like soak in a little bit into the access paint, and it makes it a little easier. That way it's not, you know, still drying out while you're working on other spots. And that's it. You know, if you got to reapply, you can easily reapply. Don't go too hard on the scrubbing. You can kind of, if you're outside of the chip, you can kind of scrub it harder, and then when you get to the actual kind of going over the chip itself, just go light. That will help out a lot. And again, that's it, guys. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to my channel, hit like, make a comment, help out the community as well with your knowledge and expertise. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great day.